Is it just me, or are there a lot of boxing biopics coming out these days? Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell, and this is my review of Bleed for This. Now, this is a film based on the boxing career of Vinny Pazienza. I think that's how you say the name. I don't remember exactly from the film, but he is a world champion boxer, and he's played by Miles Teller in this film. He does a very, very good job portraying this character in this movie. Our premise of this film is that after winning his second world title, he is in a very bad car accident. He severs his neck, so it's just like a fraction of an inch away from his spinal cord being severed, which would be a very bad thing. So a large majority of the film focuses on his recovery and his eventual comeback to win a third world championship. Now, regardless of the quality of the film, this is an incredible comeback story. I will not deny that. You have a guy who basically almost didn't know if he was going to be able to walk again, much less fight again. And it just, the determination that Tyler gives this character and portrays in this film is just really, really interesting to see, and really, really neat and inspirational. And it's something that very, very few people would be able to do. There's a line in the film where he says that it's very easy to give up, and that's something that scares him. And it's a very true thing. It's very, very simple to just give up something and not just push forward and give it your all. So I really liked Miles Teller in this movie. He did a very good job portraying this character, and I like the fact that he's getting a lot more roles these days, a lot more serious roles, and he's becoming one of my favorite young male actors around these days. Aaron Eckhart is in this film as well. He plays his trainer, and I like their chemistry on screen. I thought that worked really, really well within the confines of the film, because he has his own kind of issues which aren't really fully explored in the film. But I enjoyed seeing their chemistry on screen. He pushed Eckhart, but it wasn't really anything really all that memorable, unfortunately. I thought Eckhart did a good job. It just wasn't really that interesting of a character. One thing that made this film kind of unique, though, among the other boxing biopics, is that it used a lot of original footage from the actual time that this movie was taking place in. We saw the actual fighter, Vinny Pazienza, in recordings and through interviews and through promotional material. We got to see the actual guy being kind of switched around with Miles Teller during scene transitions. And so that was kind of a neat thing to see. The fight choreography was also very, very good. It just wasn't really anything terribly new, I didn't think. From what I can recall, there is more and better fight choreography in Southpaw and Hands of Stone, which are the two most recent boxing films I've seen to my memory. And so it didn't really get me all that excited when the film was actually getting to the fight sequences. Now, this is a very slow movie, and if you think that's going to mainly focus on Miles Teller's recovery after his accident, it's going to be kind of a mistake, because a good chunk of the first hour of this film focuses on the lead up and his getting ready for that second title match. And so I thought that was something, if it was going to be in the film, it was going to be in maybe first 10 minutes, we see it happen, and then boom, we go to the car crash. No, it focuses a lot on that build up, showing us who Vinny was before the accident, how he lived his life. And he wasn't really a terrible person. He had the ego of a boxer who's world famous, and so you weren't really expecting anything different. He wasn't a terrible person. But I did feel like the film spent a lot of time, probably too long, doing that build up to that match, and not enough time focusing on the actual recovery, getting into his psyche during this time, because that's a very big thing. If you have screws in your head, and basically the idea that a single bump is going to possibly basically not allow you to walk again, sever your spinal cord, it'd be a terrifying thing. And I think the film would have benefited from focusing more on that aspect of this character than focusing on, oh hey, I'm going to try to get back in the ring. So in that regard, the film doesn't really have as much time to focus on Vinny's recovery as much as it really should have been able to devote the time to, and kind of building up that actual recovery and building up to his comeback. I thought it was kind of rushed as a result, and there's just like 6 months just go by in about 5 minutes. It's just kind of unfortunate. Maybe it's after being spoiled from Southpaw, but in boxing films nowadays, I really look forward to seeing like the whole round of matches being shown to us in their full extent. I know it's a lot of work, a lot of choreography, but when Southpaw did that, it made the film all that more exciting, because I didn't know what was going to happen. When you have just montages and really quick cuts of like rounds going by in like 5 seconds, it's not that exciting anymore, and you just kind of get swept into the final round, whatever that is, and it's like, oh hey, I guess we're at the final stage now. So when they got into his comeback match at the end of the film, it felt very, very anticlimactic to me as a result. And one thing which was a little bit neat about that final match is that it is against Roberto Duran from Hands of Stone earlier this year, back in the end of August. So that was kind of a cool thing. I was kind of hoping that the actor from that film who played Duran would have made a cameo in this film, because I would love, with all these boxing biopics which are happening, to have them be kind of a shared universe. And so if they happen to face off against each other in their career, the actor who portrays them in said biopic would come back and just do a quick cameo. I think that'd be kind of a cool thing. So that's not really a problem with the film because it's out of their control, but I would have really appreciated that if Edgar Ramirez had been able to come back and portray Duran again in this film. And there is no real biopic ending at the end of this film as well. We don't get to see what happens to Vinny after the events of the film, as well as the people surrounding his life. That would have been a little bit neat to see. I always enjoy that when biopics do that. If you've seen any of my reviews, you know this. It does incorporate some footage which shows what some of the scenes throughout the film were kind of taking their inspiration from actual interviews and camera footage from the actual person Vinny and people around his life during this time. And so that was kind of a cool thing to see, because you get to see the actual people. And that's not really a common thing, like I said earlier. So guys, ultimately Bleed for this, I thought it was fine. I thought that Miles Teller did a very good job in his role. I just felt like the film itself would have benefited a lot from focusing more on the recovery aspect and not just building up to two different fights. So as a result, the film just ended up being kind of boring for me, because it was just a lot of build up, even Hands of Stone earlier in August. I didn't enjoy the film as much as I was hoping to, but it still had a lot of fight sequences. We got a lot more action going on combined with Roberto Duran's life. It just didn't really have that level of excitement in this film. And while, yeah, like I said, it is an inspirational story, it's not really one which needed to be made into a biopic of this sort. But guys, those are just my thoughts on Bleed for this. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Did you like it as much as I did? Did you hate it more than I did? Let me know. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe once again if you so choose. I'd appreciate it immensely. And as always, my people, my name is Nick Pell, and once again, keep on watching.